So lately I've been becoming a bit of a self-proclaimed Mario Party connoisseur myself. I've got almost the entire series in my collection by this point, I just need a few more, and the new game's on the way, so today I'm making a Mario Party video. And in this video I'm going to be discussing what I think are the 10 best minigames from every single entry, or at least every single entry that I've played enough to be able to make a list for. So, this includes every main series game up to 9, because I do not have 10, that's one of the very few I don't have. And then also the spin-offs, but only DS and Island Tour, because I don't have Star Rush or Top 100, but of course Top 100 doesn't really count. But I'm actually getting those soon, either way, yeah. And I haven't tried Super yet either, but this is still most of the series. And one thing to know, I'm excluding any sort of extra mini-games, or like bonus games or story mini-games. This is mainly just, if you actually play a party, you will encounter these mini-games. So, to get right into it, we start with the original, which I haven't actually played, but I have played Mario Party 2 and Superstars, and pretty much all of those mini-games were remade in both of those. So, number 10, we have Platform Peril. This kind of set like a landmark for the series. There's a lot of copies of this one in later entries, but you know, this started that, and a lot of those are pretty good minigames, and this one's not bad itself. Number 9 is Tipsy Tourney. I think this is just a pretty iconic one, not much to say about it though. Then we have Hot Rope Jump, and its original rendition, if I'm not mistaken, it literally only went up to 20, but it's still some good fun. Then we've got Bombs Away. It was made more interesting in 2 when they added the final bomb, but it's still pretty good. Number 6 is Mario Bandstand. I like this whole kind of follow the leader type of thing that they continue to Toad Bandstand, and also, I believe, Look Away from Mario Party 9. Then we have Shy Guy Says, which has appeared in a lot. If I'm not mistaken, it's in 1, 2, Top 100, and Superstars. Pretty much every game it could have appeared in. And it kind of deserves that, because it is a really just simple but effective minigame. Then we have Slot Car Derby, kind of the beginning of all of the different Mario Kart in Mario Party minigames, and some people that I know don't like this one, but I'm a big fan of it, honestly. Then we have Bumper Balls, and even though this pretty much always ends in a tie, it's still pretty fun just to bounce people around. Then we have Bobsled Run. It's a 2v2 race, it's a pretty good idea, and it lasts quite a bit in terms of length, so you get some good fun out of it. And lastly is Mushroom Mix-Up, and even though the original one is kind of janky, like if you try and grief anyone or jump on someone's head, you just fly into oblivion, it's still probably one of my favorite minigames of all time, specifically the Superstars remake though, where it's not as janky. Mario Party 2 and number 10 we have Shy Guy Says, again. Number 9 we have Slot Car Derby, again. Number 8 we have Bobsled Run, again. Number 7 though we have Honeycomb Havoc. This one, every time we play it, my brother always wins it, and he says there is strategy to it. I don't understand this one, honestly. I really feel like no matter what you do, there's just kind of a determined winner at some point or another, but you know, it's still fun to think you're doing something, and it's a nice little minigame. Number 6, we have Move to the Music, which is also kind of like Mario Bandstand, so yeah, it's good. Number 5, we have Toad Bandstand, which you would never believe, but it's also like that. Number 4, we have Hot Bob-omb, and even though it's kind of randomized when you die, a bit RNG based, which isn't always the best for a battle minigame, I do think this one's kind of fun. Number 3, we have Roll Call. The fact that there's like different layouts that can happen for this, I really like when that happens in minigames. The same goes for like Slot Car Derby, which is another one I mentioned already. Number 2, we have Shell Shocked, or as it got renamed in Superstars, Tread Carefully. This one's just pretty fun. I like all the ones where it's like all 4 people actually having a moveset that you can use, and you're all just in a survival game, and you have to be the last one standing. That's like my favorite genre of minigame, honestly. And number 1, we have Hexagon Heat, because it's literally just Mushroom Mix-Up, and that was number 1 for Mario Party 1. Mario Party 3 and number 10, we have Crowd Cover, which is kind of like Roll Call. Number 9, we have Logjam. It's a really simple idea, but I just kind of like the way it works. The one person has to press the button, and then their partner has to press it, but the partner presses it a lot faster because they have time to actually read what their partner is pressing first. Number 8 is Vine with Me. This one's really fun to just like go really fast at, especially if you're up against an AI, you can just smoke them. Number 7, we have Hide and Sneak. Even though it is very much luck-based. Sometimes when I play with my friends, we make a little truce not to communicate with each other if we're on the same team to actually give the solo a chance. But this is still a pretty fun game. Number 6 is Waterworld. I'm a big fan of all these things where it's just like go in a circle race. Like there's a lot of these in Mario Party, but this one's pretty good. Then we have Mario's Puzzle Party, which is like very fleshed out for just a regular minigame. It's like a whole Tetris type of thing. Number 4 is Toadstool Titan, or as it got renamed in Superstars for some reason, Mush Pit. I don't know why they did that. This one's just really fun. Like, it seems very balanced, which isn't always the case for Mario Party minigames, and it just works pretty well. Number 3 is Ice Rink Risk. In addition to what I said about liking the ones where it's like all 4 people just trying to kill each other, I also like the ones where it's all 4 people just trying to survive against the environment, and that's what Ice Rink Risk is. It's a pretty good epitome of that. Number 2 is Snowball Summit, which might be my favorite of those, like, everyone try and be the last one standing type of minigames. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a very popular minigame. And lastly, number 1, this one people I've heard aren't a fan of, honestly, but I genuinely think it's one of my favorite in the series. It's The Beat Goes On, and people don't like it because sometimes it can last really long and then everyone tries so hard that it becomes a tie and you wasted like 5 minutes. But I just really like the whole, like, Simon Says, keep making it longer and longer memory type of thing that this has going for it. Like, there's nothing else I can really think of like it in the series. Mario Party 4, number 10, we have Bowser's Bigger Blast. And even though this is a battle minigame that is entirely RNG, it's still just funny, okay? And I guess if you lose, it sucks, but oh well. Number 9 is Reverse-A-Bomb. I'm just really good at this one, but it's also very frantic, so it's pretty good. Number 8 is Paratrooper Plunge. This one can actually be kind of annoying, but it's also pretty good. It feels kind of fluid with how you're just floating through the air. Number 7 is Dungeon Duos. I get most people would probably put that at 1, because it's like the normie pick to just think that that's the best Mario Party minigame ever. Yeah, there's a lot going on, it's very fleshed out, but I do think there's some better ones in this, honestly. Like number 6, Mr. Blizzard's Brigade. It's one of those ones where everyone's just trying to survive. Number 5 is Toad's Quick Draw. This is a pretty cool one. It takes a lot of, like, hand-eye coordination, reaction time, being able to flick the joystick right. It's pretty good. Number 4 is Booksquirm, another one that people just fanboy over a lot. And yeah, it deserves that, but I'm not putting it at number 1. Number 3 is Chain Chomp Fever, yet another just all 4 people try not to die challenge. I do really like this one though, and it's a battle minigame, so it's nice to see a battle minigame that isn't just entirely RNG. Number 2 is Long Claw of the Law. This is actually a really unique minigame. I like the whole concept of looking all over the place, trying to find the things and grab them at the right time. And lastly, number 1 is Bob-omb Breakers, which is essentially the improved version of Mario's Puzzle Party from the previous game, and it's a lot better because you can grief other people. Mario Party 5, this is the most recent game I've got my hands on, so I haven't actually played every minigame in it, but I've played enough to assume what I think are probably the top 10 best. Number 10 is Pushy Penguins. This one got remade in Superstars, and for good purpose because it is a pretty good one. Number 9 is Rumble Ready. I love the GameCube minigames that actually use the Rumble feature. They're like the only ones that do, and there's not many of them, and this one does it pretty well. Number 8 is Blown Away. There's a lot of battle minigames, or dual minigames I should say, in Mario Party 5 for some reason, and some of them are pretty good, including this one. It's kind of like a 1v1 Snowball Summit. Number 7 is 2-Bit or Lose It. I just think this is a pretty fun one. I don't really know what to say about it. Number 6 is Mario Mechs. It's kind of like one of those battle royale, everyone kill each other type of thing, but it's a 1v3. Number 5 is Later Skater, another one of those just go in a circle races like Waterworld. Number 4 is Dodge Bomb. It's kind of like Hop-A-Bomb, but a little different, but still good. Number 3 is Fish Upon a Star. Again, one of those everyone just fight each other battle royale things, and like the map shrinks over time. Pretty fun. Number 2 is Frozen Frenzy. This, I hate to say, but it kind of reminds me of that one like Fall Guys minigame, and as much as I hate Fall Guys, this minigame is pretty fun. I just like the idea of trying to hold on to as much stuff and just hide in the corner or whatever. And number 1 is Sky Survivor. A really good dual minigame, a really good minigame overall. Mario Party 6, we've got Burn Style, which is very similar to TikTok Hop from Mario Party 3, but it's a 2v2. 9 is What Goes Up. It's like Doodle Jump, but the fact that there's a nighttime variant where you go down very creative. Number 8 is Pixel Perfect. This is just a pretty fun 2v2. Number 7 is Wrestle and Rapids. Another one of those, just everyone fight each other, but there's also like environmental hazards, so it kind of combines both of those type of battle royale type of minigames. Number 6 is Mullet. Another pretty good 2v2. And there's a night variant as well where you jump on their heads instead of jumping up on them. Or it might be the other way around. Number 5 is Cash Flow. This is just a really simple and nice minigame. I like the whole idea of going down a water slide. Number 4 is Control Stick. This is one of very few minigames I can think of that uses 2 different joysticks to control it, and it works really well. Number 3 is Hyper Sniper. I don't really know what it is about this one. I just think it's pretty good. Number 2 is Pit Boss. It's very similar to Ice Rink Risk, which I also had pretty high on that list, so yeah. And number 1 is Snowball. Another one of my favorite minigames of all time. It's 1v3, it's a snowball fight, and the solo has help from random NPCs. It's just really fun. Mario Party 7, number 10, we've got Fish and Cheeps. This is the one where you're just swimming, it's a dual minigame, and you just have to not get hit by a fish. Number 9 is Cartwheel, another one of those just simple go around a ring and race people. Number 8 is Spinner Cell, another one of the ones that uses both joysticks, which is really cool and creative. Number 7 is Apes of Wrath. It's a duel, but you're just running from the monkeys, which is honestly kind of fun. Number 6 is Spider Stomp. It's kind of like Booting Gallery from Mario Party 8, just kind of like a shoot 'em up, beat 'em up type of minigame, which you don't see often in Mario Party. Number 5 is Monty's Revenge. I think this is a really creative and fun one. Number 4 is Gimme a Sign, which is very similar to Mushroom Mix-Up, which, as I said, is very good. Number 3 is Think Tank. It's kind of like Tread Carefully, but it's a 1v3, so it's good. Number 2 is Herbicidal Maniac. This is like a weird minigame, but it's honestly pretty fun. It's like a 2v2, just shoot the piranha plants, so also kind of like Booting Gallery. And number 1 is The Final Countdown. This one's in Superstars as well. This one really just resonates with me for the same reasons that, of course, Mushroom Mix-Up do, because they're kind of similar. Mario Party 8, number 10, we've got Sick and Twisted, which is this game's version of just platform peril. And it's this high, or it's on the list in general, just because most Mario Party 8 minigames are honestly kind of bad, and the motion controls aren't the best. So this one just uses the D-pad, so yeah. Then we've got Settle It in Court at number 9. Number 8 is Lob to Rob. Number 7 is King of the Thrill. This is another D-pad one, and it's a little, like, battle royale type of thing. Number 6 is Glacial Meltdown. Similar concept again, but it's a 4-player one. Then we have Lava or Leave Him, which is kind of like the same thing, just fire instead of ice. Then we have Picture Perfect, which does use the pointer, but, you know, this one's pretty fun. Number 3 is Aim of the Game. I'm honestly a big fan of this one. I like the ones where you're like pointing at the screen and like firing at stuff more so than just the shake the remote. Those are kind of lame, honestly. Number 2 is Booting Gallery, which again is like a point and click shooter with the remote. And number 1 is Snipe for the Picking, which is also that concept, but this is probably just my favorite one. I like quickly reacting and just shooting at the 100. Mario Party 9, we've got Tumble Temple. A pretty fun survival game. Number 9, we've got Don't Look, which is very similar to Look Away from Mario Party 2, I think. Number 8 is Goomba Bowling. There's an extended version of it in like the bonus modes, but it also is just a regular minigame in itself. And it's pretty fun. It's literally just like Wii Sports Bowling, but thrown into Mario Party. Number 7 is Skipping Class. You get like a whole set of inputs you have to do, and you have to do it perfectly. Pretty cool. Number 6 is Ringleader. This used to be my favorite minigame of all time when I was like very young, but I outgrew that a bit. I still have a bit of sentimental value for it, though. Number 5 is Deck Dry Bones, and even though this is a boss minigame, I wasn't going to include them at first. Technically, you do face these in just a regular match, because every game of Mario Party 9, you fight 2 bosses with everyone, so boss minigames are here, and Deck Dry Bones is definitely one of the best ones. Number 4 is Mob Sleds. This is just a pretty fun survival for the solo. Number 3 is Bomb Barge. This is definitely one of my favorite, just everyone survive type of thing. You get to kick bombs at people and try not to get exploded. Number 2 is Blooper Barrage. Personally, my favorite boss minigame, because again, it's one of those point and shoot things. And number 1 is Ruins Rumble, which is unironically my favorite minigame in the entire series. Even though it does use motion controls, I just love this one for some reason. And then into 2 of the spin-offs, we got Mario Party DS. Number 10, we've got Wompathon. Number 9, we've got Shuffleboard Showdown. Number 8, we've got Hedge Honcho. Number 7, we've got Crater Crawl. Number 6, we've got Soap Surfers. I really love this one. This is just a really neat idea, and it works pretty well. Number 5, we've got Boo Tag. Number 4, we've got Camera Shy, which, like, I feel like if sometimes I'll see nostalgia bait posts on, like, Instagram and stuff, and I see this minigame a lot in here when they're showing some kind of picture to represent this game. This one's definitely a really popular one, and I agree with that. Number 3 is Short Fuse. I love the use of the mic in some of the DS games, although some of it maybe doesn't work too well. It's still pretty creative and using the machine to its full potential. Number 2 is Dust Buddies, a really iconic one if you ask me. And number 1 is Fast Food Frenzy. I just love this minigame for some reason. And finally, Mario Party Island Tour. At number 10, we've got Tragic Carpet Ride, just another one of those everyone try and survive. Number 9, we've got Claiming the Cube. Number 8, we've got Tap Dash, which is a pretty unique method of using both screens at once. 7, we've got Amp My Style. 6, we've got Slipknot, which is a pretty good gyro-using minigame, because Island Tour has a few of those, and they're honestly pretty cool. Then we've got Bumper Thumper at 5. Number 4, we've got Bob-omb Aplomb, which is kind of like Hot Bob-omb. Number 3, we've got Match Faker, which is really unique, because you sort of have to use the touchscreen as like a notepad. Number 2 is Gyro for the Gold, another pretty good gyro minigame, and it's very fleshed out and unique. And number 1 is Tanks a Lot, another one of my just overall favorite minigames. I like the ones where it's like a third-person shooter type of thing, and this one works pretty well. So, that is all of them. I, of course, did skip out. I should say I intentionally skipped out on Top 100 and Superstars just because those are all just repeat minigames. But Star Rush and 10 and Advance I skipped out on because I don't have them, but this was still most of the series. And if you like this, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And thanks for watching.